offense was going to come. Just the way we play, sharing the ball with each other and stuff like that. So we just had to focus on the defensive end and get stops, and we knew the offensive was eventually gonna come.
Toby, what kind of challenge is it defensively when you're playing against a huge guy like that, playing center for the Hawks?
Listen, I have no idea. It's hard because obviously I can't really use my strength because he's 290. So you just have to use your speed. That's literally what the coach just started telling me. Just dance around him, get in front, make him feel like they can't pass in the post, and then, yeah.
Max, you feel like Sean got his confidence back a little there? The second half, he's kind of waiting.
I thought he came out really aggressive, which we love when he does that. So yeah, he's definitely it's been a lot of ups and downs for him, like with the injuries and stuff like that. But yeah, he's definitely getting back in rhythm, and yeah, we need him to stay aggressive like that, how he did today.
What Coach said at halftime? That's a 16-2 run to come out of the locker room. I mean, what were the magic words, if any?
We just kind of talked about how defensively, I think we held them to 27 in the first half, and obviously we usually make baskets, and we were only down about 6. And Coach was like, if we keep doing what we're doing on defense, eventually the tide's going to turn on offense, and it sure did.
Did you all expect them to get hot from behind the arc eventually at some point? Was that part of the scout?
100%. That was a big part of our scout, making sure we get to three-point shooters, and I think in the last couple minutes we leaked a few, but we won.
Take me through that last possession, and not the very last one, but they don't foul you guys. You end up with the ball there.
Uh-huh.
Take me through your thought process on that.
We ran angle pop. Toby caught it. Max cut. Toby threw it to me. I looked up, and I said it's going towards the basket. And I shot it, and God bless it went in.
Congratulations on the win, fellas. I got a serious question. So it's 2 plays. Toby, you get the no look for Max. You get the alley-oop. Which one of these plays will be top 10 on?
Only God knows.
It's up to whoever. Yeah, I don't know.
More for the players. Max and Toby talk about what Joe's confidence as a scorer does for everyone else. Does it kind of lift up the whole team when he gets on a run like that?
Oh yeah, 100%. It like forces the other team. Like whenever Joe comes off the bench, it's like I feel like the other coaching staff is like, yo, like you gotta get to him. Like they're paying a lot of attention to Joe whenever he comes in the game, and yeah, so that's very big for us, and that's what Joe does. He scores the ball. So yeah, it's really great for us, and I know he'll continue doing that.
Joe, what'd you think of the homecoming crowd?
Oh, it was cool. Yeah, that's really all I got. It was cool.
Max, you're only like a couple of points off 1,000 career coming into this game.
I didn't know that.
Let's go.
Thanks for letting me know that. Yeah.
So, it's like when you go into a game, are you obviously looking for points, but is that when those benchmarks are coming up, do you think about that?
I mean, now that you said it, yeah, it'll probably be in my head. But yeah, I mean, not really. I just go there and try to play the game the right way. Make the right reads, and the game will I let the game come to me. So yeah, that's all. I just keep playing the same way. It'll happen eventually.
Anything else for the players?
Joe and Max, how have you guys seen Toby's game grow over the course of the season?
He gets tired less quick. He used to sub in 2 minutes and be like, Coach. But today he played 23 minutes, so I'm happy he can stay in the game longer and help our team. He's blessed clearly, and I'm glad he doesn't get as tired as quickly.
Joe, in the first half, how bad did you want to put that guy on a poster when he missed that?
I was a little frustrated because I make these threes that are like this, and then I miss a dunk that's not as contested. So maybe next game I'll try.
Credit to St. Joe's. They had an excellent game plan, coming in and really bothered us in the first half offensively. they were forcing us inside the line, kind of locking out, out on the perimeter. And, we made some uncharacteristic, finishes in there or attempts in there, where we've got to do a little bit better. But our message to the guys at halftime was, pretty simple. And even before the game, we talked a little bit about it, was because it didn't happen in Amherst. We were struggling offensively, but the defense kind of let us down. And in the first half, the defense was there. Shy a few possessions in transition where they got the three and a couple of layups. In the half court, we were doing a pretty good job. Our guys were on it. And so we felt confident, at halftime if we, began to play a little bit better, a little more free, a little more trusting, of one another, better decisions, driving at the rim, that we would begin to, the lid would come off of the basket for us. And so, sometimes that could happen. A little bit of pressure at times, you lose a game, and then all of a sudden the confidence can kind of go. It's a shaky thing. And we just encourage the guys in the timeouts to just relax, relax and play, and ultimately just trust one another. And I think that's what you saw. The group out of halftime did a great job. Certainly, getting us a lead quickly, out of halftime. That can be, when you're struggling like that and really didn't lead at all, in the first half, that can be, a jolt of fresh air. And that certainly was the case for us tonight. The beginning of that second half gave us a ton of energy, gave the bench energy, and certainly the crowd. The crowd was great. They gave us energy. Can't say enough about, the crowd that we had here tonight. But conference play is going to be tough, and it's shown that all season. Doesn't matter what conference you're talking about, night in and night out. You see these tight games, and we needed every basket, that we had to come up with tonight, whether it was underneath out of bounds, whether it was half-court execution, whether it was timely shots where they guarded it well, handling the ball versus pressure at the end of the game. Certainly we need to do better. Reynolds got going, and we, once you not allow, because he was a big factor and his teammates were a big factor in that. Once guys like that with that offensive ability begin to go, it's hard to turn that faucet off because it's going. And, we certainly weren't able to kind of get that under control like we needed to. But happy to take any questions.
To say that is one thing, but to have them actually put it into practice and to see that not every game is like Amherst. How big can that be coming down the stretch?
Yeah, I mean, I think this team needs to remain confident, in who they are and trust who they are. Even though we haven't had as much time together as some of the teams that we're facing, I told them after the game, I said, it's moving too fast for me. It's like this week is a a player's dream. You play 3 games, just quick preps and you're after it, and all of a sudden you only have 2 left, and it is moving. We've got a great group, in here that are fun to coach and fun to come, to work with every day. But there's more out there for this team, and we've got to keep fighting, each and every day. And games like this can help. There's no doubt about it.
So you don't have a guy who's 290 inside.
Yeah.
We've seen that a few times this year. Are there advantages you can claim, when you've got a guy like Toby who's a little quicker?
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes transition, right? I think you saw that, early in the second half, getting the foul on the first play, and Fleming was important. They had to take him out, and then all of a sudden the lineups changed a little bit. But, yeah, I mean, certainly you try to, get the advantage wherever you can, and certainly, up and down the court, that certainly can play out that way.
How key is Joe's confidence as a scorer?
Yeah.
Collective mindset for everyone?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. Joe's, somebody that, thinks every shot's going in, and he tells himself that was a good shot, and even though sometimes I tell him it wasn't, I kind of whisper in his ear that wasn't a good one because I don't want to confuse him too much. But, no, he's a great player and certainly somebody that we, are really happy that he's here with us.
Congratulations on the win, Coach.
Thanks.
39 bench points.
Yeah.
Obviously, your 2 leading scorers, Joe Bam and Toby, 16 collectively. What was your thoughts on the production of the bench?
Yeah, the bench was huge. Roy Hibbert grabbed me after the game, and said just that. He was really impressed, with the bench tonight. I told the team that. as well, and it's something that we've hammered home, all year. Now that we're at full strength, we've got, multiple guys that can enter the game and help us, in a positive way. Rose, 2 points. His 2 points were important, in the game. His defense, was important in the game. And so it doesn't matter how much you play, it's can you impact the game. Jason was great. We were struggling in the first half, all right? But second half, he was playing more like himself, and his defense is always on point, and certainly made some timely shots and deliveries, as well. So, I thought it was a total team effort and something that, we've got to continue to develop. Our benches, can get us out of some spots, at times. And then you saw what happened. The starters came back at the beginning of the second half, and then they took it. So it's like contagious. You see somebody off the bench doing it, and then it makes you want to go in there and do it as well. And so, really happy with the group that we have.
Coach, there were a lot of timely buckets, off of a timeout. Did you feel like the execution was really good?
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. Yeah, it's certainly important. You have to execute in order to win games. You have to score in the half court. Certainly any kind of transition baskets that you can muster up are important. We got some of those. But the execution out of timeouts and the execution of our plays in the half court, we spent a lot of time on that, the first practice after the UMass game. And, our guys did a great job. That was the majority of the practice where the guys were just playing against one another. And they got better defensively and offensively. The offense made the defense better. The defense made the offense better. And I thought, our guys did a really nice job of keeping it simple, but trying to gain an advantage and then trusting, the pass, 19 assists, right? Trusting the pass, to get us, over the hump.
With Toby, everybody's always going to love a guy who can
Yeah.
jump a mile high and dunk.
Yeah, don't you love that?
I do
Yeah.
love it. Enjoy watching it. How is his game built over the course of the year, though, beyond just that element?
Yeah, he works every day on, even that last play that we ran, it's a popping play where he pops back out. And I had to tell him, you're not shooting this one, because he shot it last game. And, he made the right decision and got it over to Joe, and Joe made a big-time shot. He's somebody that, he's just scratching the surface. I think that's the biggest thing, that for me as a coach and for everybody that works with him, the best is coming, for him, because he's going to be able to dribble the ball. He's going to be able to shoot the ball. He's going to be able to get around, defenders. Now is just not the time, for that. He's just not ready. It's a multi-step process. Now he's just playing, right? He's out there playing. Most minutes he's played, right, in a while. And certainly that's been a challenge for him, keeping him in there with his physical fitness. He gets tired quickly. But today he was huge.
What was the approach to those last couple of possessions when you guys were going back and forth and really had to lock down?
Yeah, it was trying to get him to miss. I think that was the biggest thing, and certainly, again, like I said, once a guy like that kind of gets going and they're going to him over and over again, it takes more than one to guard him, and certainly, we weren't up to task, on that down the stretch, and we had a couple of weird plays, the extra 20 seconds and the tip in when we had the rebound, on the free throw. There were a couple of weird ones there, but. Our guys, stayed true to it and kind of toughed it out and made the plays that they needed to, taking care of the ball, making the free throws. All of that is execution based, and just getting the ball in bounds with 9 seconds, right? Teams turn that over, and lose, and our guys, did a nice job tonight.
Coach, you talked about earlier your teams that have the experience together as many other teams. And down the stretch, as you get some more of that experience, is there more to this team that we haven't seen yet?
I think you could always improve, right? Success is never final. You got to keep trying to get a little bit better, keep trying to refine it, and it's like you're on this path, and we took a little bit of a dip. That's a natural thing, losing a game, and then hopefully we get back on that path of growth, and that's all we're focusing on with our guys, and a lot of it's just connecting the group better. Continuing to get, the guys to understand how they individually can impact the overall group. And, I think our guys have done a really nice job of buying into that. And we got to keep on that path.
You mentioned Hibbert. He had some really nice things to say about the facility, the program,
Yeah.
all that. How nice is that to, host somebody like
Oh, it's huge. Coach Henry coached him at Georgetown, and so we used to scrimmage every year when I was at Virginia Tech, and so I would see him every year. It was like our first game. We would be playing against Roy Hibbert. He'd be diming us to death. But he's a two-time All-Star, and a great player, and a self-made player, and a Georgetown-made player. Like his coaches, I know he's going to give them a ton of the credit, and his teammates. But he walked in and was like, "Man, this place is unbelievable." And he went to one of the most iconic schools, from a basketball perspective, and an academic perspective. I don't want to slight that. That exists, and so to hear him say that, so we know it, right? Our guys know it. It's a blessing to walk into that BDC every day. It's a crazy place. It's just what he said was this is like an NBA facility, and he's been around. So.
One or two more.
What has Rose shown you over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, Rose's basket was huge, right? we needed his minutes. I put him in there, and the big guy was still in, and then all of a sudden the big guy was out. So that changed the matchups a little bit, and that hurt him from a defensive perspective. But I thought Rose did a good job. That's kind of where he's at right now, right? If Firm gets 2 fouls, he's right there. He's earned the right to be able to go in there and help us, and he certainly did that. And then Firm came back, with an excellent start to the second half, and really got us going. So, it goes back to what you asked. It speaks to our depth, and I'm proud of them.
First home game in 15 days.
I know, long time.
How's the atmosphere different out of away games than it is home?
Oh, you trying to get me to say something bad? Yeah, we don't have 7,000 VCU fans in there, I guess, No, we respect every place that we go, and it's always fun to see different environments, right? You can't help but life, you're always comparing things, in life, and certainly we know what we have here. We have one of the best atmospheres in all of college basketball, and we're really fortunate, to be the stewards of it right now, and this team, has one life to live, and it's doing its best right now. But we're so thankful for our fans, so thankful for the folks that have helped build this program, and it's electric in there, and we want to try to keep it that way.